Hi, good afternoon. This is Ann Sieg, and we're going to answer the questions for the people who submitted, who are part in the Blogging for Business Profits class. So I just have two so far. We're just getting rolling here. I'm sure it takes time for people to do this, but let's dive in. We have David here, David Langford. He has a blog, davidlangfordblog.com, designed to give valuable information to travelers who want to learn a language and experience another culture through cultural immersion. This will be my way to connect with travelers. I will interest some of them in joining GRN as a way to finance their travel and as a way to be able to make a difference in the country and people they've gotten involved with. My question is, how do I combine these two elements in a congruous manner? Luxury travel for enjoyment and as a means of making money, and to focus on language and culture, learning through immersion. This kind of learning is hard to do from a luxury resort, but needs a more local setting where a person can have lots of contact with locals and bond more easily. Okay, a lot going on here. I like this angle about a cultural immersion and people wanting to experience a language and experience. I think that's, I would really dig deep into that. What is the makeup of that kind of a person? What's the avatar? Are they boomers? Are they younger aged? I'm not that familiar with this particular niche, but I would really get down deep to understand these people. And I think you hit on something that's really important. Is it in context for people who want to have cultural immersion to do it from a luxury resort? And I'm guessing that there is. And I think that's a sub-niche within the bigger niche of people who like cultural immersion. And I'm going to go with it this way as a quick thought. What comes to mind are people who are, how do I want to say dreamy-eyed, but they've got these, this, wouldn't it be nice kind of a mentality of getting into a culture, but they're maybe nervous. And this is going to be higher end people, by the way. People who have substantial income and they want to do it from like a safe zone that they can be comfortable with. They want to immerse in the culture, but maybe not so completely that they're wondering if they're eating dog at that moment or some such thing. And that they'd rather be in their safe zone, their luxury resort, and then go out from that resort to visit the locals. I really don't know what that looks like. This isn't my, I don't know cultural immersion, but I would study that pretty darn closely to find out, what do these people look like? Do they even exist? Confirm that. I'm thinking they do. They're just kind of fantasize about, wouldn't it be nice to mix with the locals, but they want to be safe. That kind of a person. Not the person who's sleep in the hut, to get that immersed into a culture. And I'm guessing there's a lot of people, their clock is ticking, and they do like the idea of going around the world and finding out the culture, but in a safe way, like I said. So, boy, I think to mix those two feels pretty heavy from the onset, but you've got to know their mindset. I would really hunt these people down. If you got my session 4 on market research, using some of those tools like compete.com, and really dig deep and find these people, and I would even get on the phone and interview them and just say, you're doing market research, you really want to understand them, where they're coming from, this type of a thing. And my sense is they would not be one and the same, that they're both a person who's wanting to make money while they're doing it. But I could be wrong until you get on the phone to find out, do those people meld? Are they one and the same that, oh yeah, if I can do this and make money on the side while doing it, I'm all over it. It's kind of a stretch because it's tapping into that entrepreneurial mindset, which could be quite a bit different than the cultural mindset, cultural immersion. It's feeling like it's really disparate. That said, I think you have a pretty, it looks like a good angle. The cultural immersion people who want to have a safe zone, be in a luxury resort, I feel safe here. I'm eating clean food, clean water. Like Mexico comes to mind, don't drink the water, that type of thing. But they can go out amongst the locals. I think that sounds like a pretty good presence to tap into that kind of a niche. But I would research more. And I do it by getting on the phone. I hunt them down in forums or wherever, and then you should get on the phone to really understand their mindset. What you could do then from there, as they become your friends, they like this, thanks so much for this service. I've used GRN to do that. And so you're leading with the product, which is, I have to admit, it's refreshing to hear. And over time you could introduce, or as they inquire, they'll probably naturally bring it up. And I would let it play out a little more organically, or that it's followed up with in an email sequence or something. But I would not fuse those two together at the beginning. They feel too far apart. But the best way to find out is doing some additional research. That would be my recommendation there. The other thing I'm thinking here with the name of your blog is getting foot traffic that of people who are looking for cultural immersion and that experience. I've not seen it there. It's all branded to you. How those people will find you through that brand name, specific to that niche, that's going to be a bit of a stretch. Really go through, I don't know if you took MLM Blog Secrets and Code, but I would really recommend that part, the whole, you want to get in front of people that they stumble upon you instead of you having to work so hard to reach and find them. You want them to trip over you, and that will be with keywords. So I would recommend that you look at that. So, but I think this is a refreshing angle. I think you're onto something. I would do additional research. Okay, the next question is from Ruth, and I do know you, Ruth, personally, so I feel comfortable answering this really nicely for you. And your question: I currently have a WordPress blog that I hope to develop into my main central hub for all of my online marketing efforts. There are a lot of topics I'd like to talk about: personal development, online marketing, Shaklee, nutrition, wellness, anti-aging, etc. Would it be better to have more than one blog or integrate all of this into one site? I would not go with the multi-blog model at this point. I think that's spreading your efforts too thin. It's kind of like, should I set up 3 houses? You know, and houses are a lot of work. And you want to streamline your efforts and get it under one roof and get that thing cranking. And I personally think you'll be able to do that with a main umbrella, and that you have your categories that you're going to be able to put under these. And that's what these are. They're basically categories. And I would not lead with your opportunity. I think it can fall into place very nicely from what you put here. It's feeling like the personal development is going to be a strong suit of yours, because I've met you and you're extremely fit. You've got an amazing life and lifestyle, and I think you have a lot to give. Quite frankly, I think you have a lot to offer the world, and that will be very appealing, especially within your age grouping. You're a boomer woman, and you have many attractive things to share with people, and I think you're okay having these subcategories. It's a little disparate, so I think you're going to have to wrap it up together under, I'm feeling like it's personal development, and how did you get personal development? Well, it's through these other things that you touch on. Those all seem to fit under that. And you're going to need some kind of a really unique tagline and identifier for who you are. And what also comes to mind is who you are as an avatar. I mean, I can kind of picture you as an avatar, very attractive, and that likewise you can attract those kind of people to you, other boomer women who are wanting this beautiful lifestyle that you have. You're very into fitness and such, you know, showing a little video of you on one of your bike rides, and, you know, I don't know if you do the running as well. I know you do a lot. And then share with them what that means. And you're going into your years, your latter years, if you will, with a lot of strength. And it's because of boom, 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 all these, the online marketing and the Shaklee and the nutrition wellness, which I would put the Shaklee underneath there. I would I kind of couch it from the perspective of I don't know where they're at with them allowing you to use their name. I have a feeling they're pretty strict. Don't know, but you can follow up very, very naturally and authentically through your email sequence. Your domain, you're going to want to think carefully about that, the tagline, and then what's going to be your offer. And no rush to do this. You want to get it right, but it's feeling like it's your lifestyle, this attractive lifestyle that you're going to be able to package, and maybe there in your offer you're going to cover the six secrets of, you know, and that's really ultimately what has to happen. An offer is a big promise. And I think you have a lot to offer. I think there are promises that you can deliver on. And then to think and consider how you're going to be able to monetize on this, not only through the sale of your products, but you do know you have an online presence and what you're going to be able to teach someone there, and your nutrition and wellness and kind of this holistic lifestyle that you have going for yourself. The holistic marketer, I mean, I don't know, holistic, I don't know, just you're going to have to really brainstorm on that and do significant, you know, search to find something that's really hot, because you want a really nice, unique angle. And I think you're well suited to attract people just like you. I think you'll do really, really well with that. And the good news is there's millions of them, the baby boomer women, and you have this really wonderful lifestyle. It's so rounded, it's so full. And for you to convey that in a nice, authentic, comfortable way, I think you've got a lot going for you. So that would be my answer there. I hope that helps. And to the rest of the people who are viewing this, what I'd like to see is engagement over in the forum, that people talk about this and that this has value for you to hear these answers come back, and that you start to develop friendships there. And that dialogue, that discourse that you're going to develop is what you'll then carry on into the online world with a fuller confidence, and especially as you project yourself through your blogging efforts. All right. Hope that helps. Bye-bye.